were hushed at first, almost cautious. My son's voice, low but sharpy, "Find the papers. The old woman must have them." And then my daughter-in-law, her tone quick, nervous, "When she dies, it'll all be ours." I stood there, hands pressed lightly to the porcelain sink, my pulse steadying as disbelief settled into something colder, more precise. For a moment, let the words hang in the air, letting their intentions echo off the walls I had lived in for decades. I could have barged in, could have shouted. But instead, I did something quieter. I listened. Memories came unbidden. The small, almost imperceptible ways they had tested my patience over the years. The casual dismissals when I offered advice, the thinly veiled complaints about my decisions. The greedy little jokes that now made sense in the harsh light of that moment. And then I stepped out, looking for something. My voice was calm, almost neutral, but there was an edge they couldn't mistake. Silence froze them mid-action. Papers, letters, small envelopes, things I had long forgotten were tucked away, lay exposed on the bed. Son's face went pale. My daughter-in-law's hands hovered over the drawers, as if frozen by some invisible hand. They said nothing, wait for their explanations. I turned and walked back to the bathroom, leaving the door ajar. Could feel their panic without needing to hear it. That night I slept unusually well. My dreams were clear, not anxious. Imagined a future where I controlled my own affairs, unencumbered by their ambitions. There was no thrill in revenge, no need, a steady satisfaction in the knowledge that they had underestimated me. The next morning I called a moving company. The truck arrived mid-morning, large and quiet, ready to transport my belongings to a new apartment in a neighborhood I had always wanted. Moved deliberately room by room, packing only what I truly valued, discarding what belonged only to the house and not to me. Son came by, hesitating at the curb. "Mom, are you really moving?" I smiled faintly, carefully measured. "It's time I had a place that's mine." He said nothing more. He didn't argue, he didn't try to stop me, could see the calculation in his eyes. He understood now that authority had shifted. It was no longer a question of inheritance or control over the house. The control had quietly, definitively moved elsewhere. Moving truck emptied the rooms. I lingered in the spaces I had lived in for decades. Drawers emptied, closets bare, walls stripped of the weight of other people's expectations. And yet, there was a strange lightness in the air, an absence of tension that felt almost foreign. By evening, the last box was loaded. The truck rumbled down the street, carrying not just furniture and papers, but the subtle, undeniable proof of my autonomy. Closed the door of my old home for the last time, feeling the weight of decades lift just slightly from my shoulders. Celebrate. I didn't call anyone to announce a victory. I didn't gloat. But in the quiet, I locked the door and walked toward my new life. I felt the clarity of a simple truth. Was no longer just the old woman in their plans. I was the architect of my own future. The house behind me stood silent. The drawers remained empty. And I, finally, moved forward unhurried, in control and at peace.